Okay, I think our clock just flipped over to 10 o'clock, so we are ready to get started tonight. We just have one break on tap this evening. It's one that'll take us a little while, though, because it's a half case of Bowman Draft Super Jumbo, which is a crazy amount of cards. But that's what makes it fun, right? All except for the sorting. The sorting's not too much fun. But let's take a look at who's in this break. So this is 3 boxes of 2017 Bowman Draft Super Jumbo. This is a half case break. It's break number 2. We started this case a couple days ago. Our eBay end date was tonight, 12/16/17. Live stream schedule also Saturday, 12/16 at 10 o'clock Eastern. You'll see the team names on the left, the winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. We had one unsold team. That's the Nationals, and it is marked as no bids buyback. So anything that comes out for the Nationals stays here with me. While we're in the spreadsheet, really quickly here, if anyone is interested in this, please let me know. These both come out on Wednesday, Optic Football and Bowman's Best Baseball. And looking to do a break of each as random teams. The cost you see there is all in, all done, includes shipping and the whole shebang. Optic at $35 a team, Bowman's Best at $37 a team. So if you're interested in that, please let me know in chat or send me a message on eBay. Either way, I'd like to get those sold so that we can break them on Wednesday night when it comes out. That would be my hope and my plan. So right now, though, we've got some Bowman's Best to open. You're going to notice that the background's going to go out of focus here. That is intentional. That's because I don't like all the zooming in and out, and I like to be able to look at the cards up a little more closely. So that's kind of what that does. And of course, we don't have to go through numbering the boxes and all that stuff this time because we already started this case. This is just the back half of it. Normally, if it's a brand new case that we haven't been in at all, we take everything out, number it on the end, and random picks out which ones we open in the first part of a break versus another part of a break that was inside our box. And other than that, it's now empty. And shipping on this stuff, we're looking at most likely Tuesday. Slight possibility that I could get some of it out the door on Monday, but I'm feeling like it's probably a Tuesday kind of thing. There's loads and loads of cards in here. So everybody's going to get a package of pretty good size, actually, because there's many, many, many cards. So every team's going to pull a bunch. We'll find, of course, a lot of paper in here, as well as some chrome. Some of it will be numbered. Some of it will be inserts. And then we'll also find 5 autographs per box. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And I'm going to kind of cut a path through this, especially the base. We'll take a little more time with some of the other. But if I am going a little faster than you would like, all you have to do is just jump into chat and let me know. And I will adjust that pace for you. Otherwise, we'll keep on keeping on. Hi, Colby. How are you tonight? I see you there in chat. This is to 499 for the Giants. That was paper for the Gonzalez. And then on our refractors, I'll just call out the names as we go along. That's Brendan Little for the Cubs. Adam Hazley for the Phillies. Michael Kopech for the White Sox. And Mark Vientos for the Mets. We'll find a fair amount of inserts that look like this as well. That one, of course, for Gleyber Torres for the Yankees. We have a little color here for the Blue Jays, Francisco Rios to 99. The green ones are always going to be to 99. We'll find a fair amount of these recommended viewings as well for various teams. Again, just inserts. Here's our autograph hit, Jacob Pearson for the Angels. That one is not numbered. Well, if I could get it in there, we might be doing all right. I swear to you, those little sleeves are tricky. I think it's mainly because I try to do it left-handed, because it's just easier to do it left-handed while in the middle of a break. But then sometimes I can't either get it all the way open or I can't get it to stay open to get the card in there. Colby Allard for the Braves. For the Cardinals, Zach Kirtley. Here's A.J. Puckett for the White Sox. And a little Brendan Rodgers for the Rockies. Been pulling a lot of Brendan Rodgers lately, it seems, doesn't it? Pulled a really nice patch for him out of Elite Extra Edition. Was that last night? Might have been last night. I don't know. We've opened a lot of different things in the last few days. Sometimes I forget what comes out of where, but I do remember finding a nice Brendan Rodgers numbered to 5 with an awesome patch. I think it was an Elite Extra Edition. And periodically, you will see me pick up those piles that are growing there in the back, and I'll move them off to the right. And if you wonder where they're going, I have a mat off to my right as well. That's what I use for sorting, and just to kind of keep our work area a little cleaner and not have to worry about anything toppling over onto our cards. I periodically pick that stuff up and set it over there. So it still stays on a mat. It's always on a mat, but sometimes people wonder where they go. So yeah, I can't believe how many cards are really in here. I mean, you know it's the Super Jumbo, so you know it's a lot, but man, you wouldn't really believe how many till you sit down to try to sort this stuff. Astros, Mets, Astros again. And if you have multiple teams, oh, you'll probably get several pounds of cards. Sometimes even a single team's close to a pound with this break. That was the Diamondbacks. A little insert, Brendan McKay for the Rays. And Desmond Lindsay for the Mets to 250 with our purple variation there. Recommended viewing insert. Mark Vientos for the Mets is our signature. And we'll find some of these MLB draft history inserts as well. That one, of course, Ryan Sandberg, but when he was a Philly, which, you know, I never even remember that he was a Philly, to be honest. I so strongly associate him with the Cubs. Dylan Tate for the Yankees. Jacob Hayward for the Giants. Mitch Keller for the Pirates. And a little Vladimir Gutierrez for the Reds. Actually, let's open one of these. I don't know about what part of the country each of you happened to be in, but it was kind of nice here today. It was 50, maybe a little over, which, considering how cold it had been, I was pretty happy with. I even stupidly went out to do a little shopping, which I should know better than to do this close to Christmas on a Saturday. But yeah, I did. I got a wild hair that I had to get something at Target, and boy, I should have waited. It was insanity in Target today. Probably everywhere. Probably insane everywhere today. but Target seemed especially so. Oh, you're near Chicago, Colby, and it was, you had good weather today too. Cool. Maybe it is all across the country. We got a nice day today. Of course, I guess some people that might not be their definition of a nice day, but me, I'm not a fan of cold weather or snow. So for me, I'm happy when it is 50 in December. My sister, on the other hand, she likes, I don't guess she really loves cold weather particularly, but she likes snow, so I guess she sort of likes cold weather. I do not even sort of like it. I would be happy if it never dropped below 60. Well, I say that, but maybe I wouldn't be if I lived somewhere long enough that I didn't get all 4 seasons. I might change my mind, but I really don't think I would. I'm pretty anti-cold weather. JG is putting it out there that he is looking for, or she, could be she. I just see JG. And I'm just being stereotypical saying he. Of course, then again, I have the habit of I say guys when I mean anybody. So, bad habit. I need to break that. Anyway, JG is looking for a Mariners auto. So we've got that out in the universe. Let's see if we can conjure one up. Tyler Freeman for the Indians. Eloy for the White Sox. Moved across town in that trade a few months back. Ramos for the Giants. And the A's with Kevin Merrill. Got a little Pavin Smith. That's paper for the D-backs, numbered to 150. An Austin Beck insert for the A's. A David Thompson blue parallel for the Mets to 200. And another one of our little recommended viewings. Royce Lewis was on there. Andy Pettit. Padres on the board. Blake Hunt. Refractor numbered to 499. We will have more Bowman draft to open too, guys. I'm just not going to probably list much more of it until after Christmas. I probably will end up listing a little Bowman's Best if I don't get it all sold out outside of eBay. But I'm probably not going to list a ton of stuff between now and Christmas. There's my Cincinnati Reds, Chris Oakey. There's a nice little Kevin Maytan for the Braves. And Nani Williams for the Angels. And that's mainly because my family comes in early. My sister has dogs and she has a pet nanny that comes and takes care of them. And the pet nanny only works through the 23rd, never works past that at the holidays. So she always comes home early. So we'll be having our family Christmas this upcoming week ahead of schedule. So by the time Christmas rolls around, I'm all wrapped up and done. But then, of course, I don't want to be listing when you guys are busy having Christmas because then there'll be nobody to break with me. So we'll probably have a few days off there. Seth Elledge for the Mariners. Kevin Smith for the Blue Jays. Caden Lemons for the Brewers. Brian Miller for the Marlins. A little Jake Berger insert for the Sox. This is paper for the Astros. Kyle Tucker to 250. Another insert. And an insert for the Indians. Autograph Charlie Barnes for the Twins. Number 250. Yeah, I know. I would like to find you a Jake Berger auto. That would be nice. For sure, that would be nice. So you have White Sox, Blue Jays, Rangers, Cardinals, Indians, And Orioles. Oh, those are all your teams. Well, you got a bunch in here then, Manford. We ought to be able to conjure something up for you then. I would think, I would hope we can find something for you. Peter Alonso, Mets. Oh, Touki Toussaint for the Braves. Here comes a nice Ronald Acuna for the Braves. Looks like they're making space for him because they traded away Matt Kemp. So they're planning on bringing Acuna up pretty quickly, I would say. That was for the Phillies. Of course, I don't think that's any surprise. I think we all knew he was coming. But now that they traded away Matt Kemp, I think he's right around the corner. It's been kind of a quiet little winter meeting week, though. There weren't as many. I mean, certainly there were some moves, but there wasn't any earth-shattering kind of moves. Although, as I said, I was pretty sad to see Cozart leave my Reds to go to the Angels, but the Angels are just going to have a monster infield. And then, of course, Ohtani, assuming that UCL doesn't turn out to be anything more than what they're saying it is, then they're going to be loaded up with the Angels. Hi, Raphael. How are you? I see you in chat there. You weren't talking to me. You were talking to Colby, but I thought I'd just say hi to you anyway. And if anybody is watching live and you cannot see chat, I think it's probably because you're not logged in. From my understanding, you have to be logged in to YouTube to be able to see the chat. That's to $499, and it is paper. Zach Lothar for the Orioles. Gavin Sheets, White Sox. Perez for the Astros. Taylor Walls for the Rays. Charlie Barnes for the Twins. Here's a little insert for the Phillies with Mickey. He ought to be coming around the corner pretty quickly, too. Seth Corey for the Giants. Our autograph hit, not numbered on that one. Carlton Fisk on the MLB draft inserts. Ah, you're in Puerto Rico. Awesome. Hey, how are things down there these days? I know we've had some rough go of it periodically with trying to get infrastructure and things back up and running. How is everything in your part of the world? Tristan McKenzie for the Indians. Connor Wong, if I can get it in there. Connor Wong for the Dodgers. Connor Siebold for the Phillies. And Kevin Newman for the Pirates. I like that you're a Reds fan too, Raphael. We have to really stick together, right? Sometimes it's hard being a Reds fan. But they're not that far from me. Hour and a half or so up the road would have me probably close to being at the stadium door to door, about an hour and a half, give or take 15 minutes. So they're kind of the hometown team, more or less, I guess. And of course, I'm a big Johnny Bench fan, so the Reds of the 70s to me are the ideal Reds, the big red machine. And I know we've had good teams since the 70s, of course, but I just love that era of player from the Reds. It was just a good time to be a Reds fan. Oh, you still have a lot of people without power? I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why. It was incredible amounts of damage, and I guess it takes a lot to get all that infrastructure put back in place. But man, doesn't it? I'm sure being there, it definitely seems like it's taking longer than it should. I guess that's just the challenges of getting all the manpower and all the equipment and everything down there, I guess, but that's got to be frustrating. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, yes, I'd say the the Reds of the 70s would have spoiled any of us, I guess, yeah. But I just, I don't know. Personally, I've always been a huge Johnny Bench fan. He and Hank Aaron are my two favorite all-time players. I know that's a weird combination, sort of, being that Aaron played for the Braves, but I just always did love Hank Aaron. So I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we've got Joey Votto, who is wonderful, and poor guy, not surrounded by a lot. Although pitching really has been our main problem, in my opinion. But it doesn't look like we're getting that straightened out very well either. I mean, of course, we've got Hunter Green, but who knows how many years, at least a couple, before Hunter's going to come up. Probably more than a couple. And even then, you don't know if that's going to be a magic bullet, you know. What am I doing? That flipped directions, and somehow I did not notice it there for a couple of cards. That's pretty bad, isn't it? I know. I was looking at chat, and I looked back down. I'm like, uh-oh, that card's upside down. Well, yeah, the managing of the Reds, that might have a little bit to do with it, too. I don't disagree with you on that. There's Brendan McKay for the Tampa Bay Rays. Stuart Fairchild for my little Cincinnati Reds. Tommy Doyle, Rockies. KJ Harrison for the Brewers. Another Burger insert. And Bobby Dalbec for the Red Sox to 250. That one is paper. There's couple more inserts for us, and here's our nice signature. It is Brent Rooker for the Twins in the blue parallel to 150. I don't know how I managed to get those upside down. That looks like two different points in there. Good grief. I don't know what I was doing. Anthony Greer, Diamondbacks. Scott Hurst for the Cards. Lugo for the Tigers. And then Justin Dunn for the Mets. Oops, I forgot I hadn't cut the... Last time I cut all the packs apart in the beginning, and then for some reason I didn't this time, so there you go. If you jumped in a little bit after the start, I am anticipating that this stuff will ship out the door on Tuesday. Trying to get stuff turned around as quickly as I can because the mail has been disastrous. It always is around the holidays, but it seems to be even worse than normal. And I've got stuff that I sent out priority mail, supposed to be there in 2 days. One of them took 11 days to a neighboring state. Then I had another package that really was within my same state, going a couple of hours down the road. Somehow got sent all the way up to New Hampshire, of all places, and eventually worked its way back down. But that one took like 6 or 7 days and should have taken 1. Things in general have just been bad this year. So I'm trying especially hard to get stuff out the door as quickly as I can because there's definitely some delays in getting things delivered. Matt Tabor for the D-backs. I do typically print the labels on eBay, so you should get a notification from them when the label prints. They'll have the tracking and stuff. Gonzalez for the White Sox. Well, good gracious. He tried to hang on to the back of Ernie Clement here for the Indians. And that was Kramer Robertson for the Cardinals. He doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear, but for the White Sox, a little Michael Kopech in the gold. It is paper, but that should be numbered to 50, and it is number 30 of 50 to be specific. Another Austin Beck insert. And here's Chang for the Indians. That's to 200 in the blue 70th anniversary parallel. Austin Beck for the A's. That one is a refractor numbered to 499. Gurriel for the Blue Jays. Raggins for the Rangers. Guerrero for the Blue Jays. And coming out for the Braves, Christian, is it, how's he say his last name? Pachi? Pachi? I don't know. I'm not sure. Terrible with name pronunciation. So anyway, point being, when I print the label, going back to the shipping, you should get a notification that it's been printed. It should update the tracking and everything into the order description at that time. Every once in a while, it doesn't, but most of the time it does. And you know what? Honestly, with the post office, we got about a 50-50 shot of them actually getting it scanned in when I drop it off. I even use scan forms, and sometimes they don't use the scan forms, and then sometimes they don't even scan the packages, and then they don't get scanned in until they're somewhere at a distribution center down the road. I have complained about that a couple times, so it looks like maybe they're getting a little better with it, but still kind of dicey. And one time I had one go all the way to the destination and got delivered without ever updating the tracking. The tracking showed the whole time that little message it'll give you, like, you know, the post office has gotten the electronic information, but, well, you know, hasn't had the package dropped off or some nonsense like that. Yeah, and it stayed in that tracking all the way through, even after it was delivered. Still said that. It's crazy. This is paper Lincoln Hensman for the White Sox to $4.99. Brett Netzer for the Red Sox. Huera for the Brewers. Clark Schmidt for the Yankees. And then the Padres, Blake Hunt. So Torres insert for the Yankees, followed by Griffin Canning, nice, to 25 for the Angels. Never going to complain when we see that orange sliding around there. Austin Beck for the A's. That is back-to-back Austin Beck. One was a refractor, one is not. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but cat's down there into it, probably with the kitten. I took in a little stray kitten a few weeks ago who I found outside, like, half starved to death and sick, and spent a fortune getting him well, and now I'm trying to find him a home. But in the meantime, he is wreaking havoc on the house and the two brother and sister kitties that were already here. Nick Gordon for the Twins. Riley Pint for the Rockies. For the Indians, Juan Hillman. And then Taylor Ward for the Angels. So usually when I hear hissing and such, which I definitely hear right now, you probably can too, hissing and crazy sounding meowing, that usually means kitten's into it with somebody. Oh, Raphael, I think the orange is in, I hadn't looked over at chat in a second, sorry. I think the orange is in kind of anything, right? I mean, normally you can pull the orange out of any Topps product and it'll be to 25 and the gold will be to 50, the green to 99 and etc. At least that's been my experience with it. Oh, Colby, I'm sorry, man. You had the A's last night and you didn't get anything good. I'm assuming if you had it in, it wasn't, we didn't break Jumbo last night, so I'm assuming if you had it in Bowman Draft, you had it somewhere else last night. Or do you mean you had it in, with me last night in Elite Extra Edition? And then tonight, yeah, I know, then tonight you didn't have it and pulled, there's 2 A's coming out. That's always the way, isn't it? That's the kind of thing that happens to me, too. Although I haven't had a lot of time to bid recently in other people's auctions, but I'm going to have those few days off from breaking when my family is in town, so I might be able to sneak in a few bids myself during those days. But you know, I had somebody else last night, the same thing. They had gotten the Orioles, not last night, but Thursday night, I guess it was. They had the Orioles, and I think they did pull something, but it was just kind of a minor something. It wasn't anything spectacular. And then they had a different team last night. And then last night, the Orioles hit some awesome stuff. So it was the same kind of situation you're experiencing right now. It's not fun, I know. That's the $4.99 Brendan Murphy for the Brewers, and that one is paper. Alex Scherf for the Red Sox. Oh, I see what you're saying, Raphael. You're saying you thought that the orange was exclusive to one particular thing, either the jumbo or the super jumbo. That is for the Rangers. DL Hall for the Orioles. I don't really remember one way or the other on that. That's the Astros. Peter Solomon is our autograph hit for the Astros, unnumbered. But I will tell you, if you look on the listing, oh, we got another autograph here. Nate Pearson had 2 in that pack, or did I mix 2 packs together for the Blue Jays? Oh, I didn't think I mixed 2 packs together, but maybe I did. If you look at the bottom of the listing description, I should have in there the product information. I usually will do a cut and paste of that, either from the Topps website or one of the major websites. And it probably says in there, if there's one that's exclusive, it should say it in there. But I've done both, jumbos and super jumbos, and I can't remember for sure if we pulled orange out of the straight jumbos, but I want to say we did. Kyle Tucker for the Astros. For the A's, Dalton Jeffries. And then Dalback for the Red Sox. But yeah, if you didn't know it, I do always put that product info down there. So if you're ever looking at something and you're not sure how many hits it's going to have in it or how it's configured or whatever, if you just keep on scrolling, I know there's a lot of information in that description, but if you scroll on through it towards the bottom, you will find that manufacturer product description. And it'll usually say how many packs per box and how many cards per pack and talk about what kind of hits are in it and exclusives and so on and so forth. I just have a really bad memory, so half the time I can't remember it even after I've read it. Or I might remember it for 24 hours and then I've And then in the next 24 hours, I've broken 5 different things and forgotten it again. That happens too sometimes. Pearson for the Angels. A little Riley Adams for the Blue Jays. I see Dylan Busby coming up for the Pirates. And behind him is Jacob Gonzalez for the Giants. Hi, Eagles fanatic. How are you? Still so sad about your Carson Wentz, man. They were having such a good season. That made me very sad. Brent Rooker to 150 paper for the Twins. Brendan McKay insert. Little Cody Sedlock to 250 for the Orioles. Little recommended viewing insert. Brent Rooker for the Twins. Derek Jeter insert. Yeah, you're just waiting on breaks tonight. Well, you haven't. I don't think you've been on for a couple nights because I haven't had football. I've had basketball and baseball the last couple of nights. But I am putting together a random team break for Optic Football if you're interested. It's $35 all in. Corey Ray for the Brewers, shipping and the whole shebang. Going to try to break it on Wednesday night. That's my hope. That's the day it comes out, but I got to sell the spots first, of course. Blake Rutherford for the White Sox. Alec Hansen for the White Sox. That's a White Sox kind of moment because there's Dane Dunning out for White Sox as well. Yeah, Eagles, I don't have that optic break currently listed on eBay. I was trying to just sell it out directly through chat since it's a random team break. That was kind of my preference. But I may end up listing it on eBay. If I haven't seen some movement on it by tomorrow, that's probably what I'll do and then see where we get. But it's hard to do them on eBay as random team breaks because if you don't sell all the spots out, then of course you've got to carry the break over, and a lot of times people don't understand that you can't set a given time on situations like that. So that's why I kind of was hoping to sell it out through chat, but because I haven't been breaking a lot of football in the last few days, I don't really have anybody in on it yet, so I may just try to go live early on Wednesday and see if somebody wants to pick it up right then, that kind of thing. I have not yet sent in anything for grading. My goal is to get that done before the end of the year. That's for the Mariners with Seth Elledge. Kevin Smith for the Blue Jays. Caden Lemons for the Brewers. Brian Miller, Marlins. A little Adam Hazley insert. Paper, Carl Stadahar, something like that, to 250 for the Mets. And Kramer Robertson for the Cardinals to 150. Little Ricky Henderson insert. Autograph hit for the Braves. Kyle Wright. That one is a refractor and numbered to 499. Yeah, a lot of Eagles, a lot of the football stuff that I have on hand right now is stuff that I would normally do as like a one-box break or something. But I don't want to do a lot of that at the moment. Peter Alonso, Mets. Tuki Toussaint for the Braves. Another Acuna for the Braves. and Kilome for the Phillies. And that's just because there's so many people on eBay right now, Christmas shopping and whatnot, that honestly, they've never been in a break before, and they don't read anything that's written. So they'll just look at a picture and say, oh, I'm buying a box or a case or a whatever. It doesn't matter how many times you say in the listing that that's not what they're buying. They don't ever read it to know the difference. And then you end up with a whole bunch of mad people who are filing cases and leaving negatives and all that. And you have enough of that through the regular part of the year with people who have never done breaks and don't read through stuff. But around the holidays, I just figure, whew, you can multiply that by about 5. So I have purposefully, for the last week or 10 days, kind of avoided that sort of stuff. But since we're about out of the period where most people would be thinking they would have time to get it shipped in for the holidays, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to doing some black gold and some 2016 black gold, and we'll do some Supreme and some black and Playbook and all that one box stuff, and some jerseys, and of course we got autographed baseballs too. Really got a lot of stuff like that I'm ready to do. I kind of miss doing it, but not as much as I just want to avoid the obvious trouble. Riley Adams for the Blue Jays, that's paper, to $4.99. Brendan Little for the Cubs. Adam Hazley for the Phillies. Kopech again for the White Sox. And Vientos for the Mets. I feel like that's one of several we found for him too. Mateo insert. Royce Lewis, that's got to be a short print. It doesn't say it, but I feel like it is a short print. Photo variation, something. That's not, I don't think that's a typical card. Recommended viewing for the Phillies, a little Matt Tabor for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, so is it a short print though, Raphael? I mean, I feel like it is, but it's definitely the photo variation, but is it also a short print? I feel like it is, but I don't know that 100% for certain, but I think it is. Colby Allard for the Braves. Zach Kirtley, Cardinals. AJ Puckett, White Sox. A little Brendan Rodgers for the Rockies. Oh, it's the draft. I didn't even look over and see that. It's the draft night photo variation. Well, that would make sense, yeah. I think it's probably a short print. Usually those photo variations are in Topps and Bowman anyway. I'm super excited about Bowman's Best coming out this upcoming week. Well, I love Bowman's Best for one thing. And it's always just packed with stuff. And I always seem like I get the best hits out of Bowman's Best. So I did get a chance to look at the checklist the other day, and it looks pretty loaded up. So I think it's going to be another good year for Bowman's Best. Oh, for sure. Anything Royce Lewis is a good thing to have. There's no question about that. Still bummed that there's no Hunter Green in here, though. I'm not going to get over that. I'm sure they'll have him in 2018 Bowman and going forward, but I am super bummed that he didn't show up in draft. I really kind of expected that he would. Hey, don't give up on your Mariners auto yet, JG. We still got this pack that is here. I don't remember. Did we pull the auto out of the top half of this? We might have. I don't know. But we still have 2 unopened packs regardless. So don't give up yet. We still got time. Tyler Freeman for the Indians. Eloy again for the White Sox. Ramos for the Giants. Kevin Merrill for the A's. Casey Clemens for the Jays. That's to 99, and it is paper. Raphael, what are you asking me about Bowman's Best? Angels. Lucas Ursig to 200 for the Brewers. Oh, are you asking me if Hunter Green's in Bowman's Best? I don't think that he was. I didn't specifically look for him. I was more interested in looking to see how many variations we had for Aaron and Cody Bellinger, and some of those is kind of more what I was looking at, but I don't think Hunter's in Bowman's Best. There's your Jake Berger auto. How happy are you? And it's on the 70th anniversary blue parallel numbered 270. So boom. How about that? Now you're happy, right? Are you still with us, Colby? Because if you are, I think that makes you happy. I don't know. You could have wandered off. Nope, you're there. Okay. I just saw you pop up in chat. I think there's a little bit of delay in chat when you guys type it in versus when it pops up on my side. I don't think it's huge, but I do think there is like a little 45-second delay or something like that. Somebody actually helped me time it one night, but I'm sure it probably varies from night to night as well. That's too funny. Raphael said he saw the tummy and knew that it was going to be Jake Berger. That's awful. That's for the Mets. For my Cincinnati Reds, here comes Kevin Maytan. I got to just get these scooted over to make a new little spot here. Kevin Maytan for the Braves. Williams for the Angels. All right, we got 2 left to go. Oh, and Raphael, to go back to your other question, if you go to the Topps website, the checklists are on there. I think you just, I'm trying to remember how to navigate there without having it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that it is... Once you're on the Topps website, if you hover over sports, it should open up a drop-down menu, and then at the bottom of that, or roughly near the bottom of it, is the checklist section, and then you can just pull up the checklist. I just haven't completely dissected it. I literally pulled it up to see how many things we could look for some of our hot rookies this year was my main goal. Hang on a second, I accidentally hit my screen off onto something else over there. For the D-backs to 499, that is paper on the Pavin Smith. Gavin Sheets for the White Sox, who have pulled a ton of refractors tonight. Joe Perez for the Astros. Taylor Walls for the Rays. Charlie Barnes for the Twins. A little Mackenzie Gore insert, nice, for the Padres. Our autograph is for the Rangers. That one is not numbered. A little Roy Halladay insert. Oh, you're calling out for, you're calling a gold Jeter? Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen. We'll try to conjure it up. Tristan McKenzie, Indians. Connor Wong, Dodgers. Connor Siebold. Didn't we have Connor and Connor back-to-back in another pack? It seems like we did, but maybe we didn't, but it seems like we did. So here's our other Connor Siebold for the Phillies. Kevin Newman for the Pirates. Which always just, every time I say Newman, I always think of Seinfeld. Did you guys ever, if you watch Seinfeld, you know what I'm talking about. They always go, when Jerry would go, Newman. Every time I see somebody with the last name of Newman, that's what goes through my head. Jerry Seinfeld saying Newman. I know, too much information. I know. Oversharing. But it just made me smile, that's all. All right, we are winding down close to the end of it, so if we haven't pulled what you want yet, and I know we haven't pulled your Mariner that you're looking for yet, I hope that we find it for you in that last pack hiding out back there. And of course, as I said, we will be opening more Bowman Draft. It's just going to be after the holidays. We'll probably get through some Bowman's Best first and then get back into Bowman Draft. I will recap our hits and our color at the end of the break, so if you jumped in late or you just want a little refresher so you can tally up your cards, I will run through that momentarily. Of course, we're not going to go through all the refractors because there's a zillion of them, but we can, we'll look at the color and the signatures. All right, here we go. Coming up on the last of it. I do see a purple something sticking out. That's all I can tell you so far. I can't see anything beyond the purple edge. Peter Solomon for the Astros. Quinn Brody for the Mets. J.J. Matovic, or something close to that, for the Astros. Varsho for the Diamondbacks. There's a little Nick Senzel, yay. Hi, Nick Senzel. And our purple was Peyton Remy for the Cubs, to 250. Recommended viewing. And our last autograph coming out is also headed to the A's, Kevin Merrill. Draft history, Barry Larkin. We'll have, oops, I'm sorry, guys. We'll have a few more refractors coming out at the end. That was Diaz for the Dodgers. He does not appear to be any worse for the wear there from slipping off the pile. But, of course, that's the reason we have the mat and the reason we don't hold them more than a tiny little fraction of an inch off of the mat in case one slides off and goes its own way. That is Tate for the Yankees. Jacob Hayward for the Giants. Mitch Keller, Pirates. And we're going to wrap it up with Gutierrez for the Reds. Give me 1 second to get this moved over into the sorting area, and then we will recap here. If anybody jumped in late, or if you're watching the replay and you just scrolled to the end to get to the good stuff, shipping on all this, I'm expecting to be Tuesday. And if I can get it out Monday, I certainly will. And it's always possible that something could come up and a few could slide into Wednesday, but my anticipation is that this will go out on Tuesday. So we're going to quickly go through our color here. Some of these, of course, are paper. That, obviously, not color, but I believe is a short print. So I stacked it over there. And then, of course, we'll take another look at our autographs as soon as we do this quick little run through on the color. And for those of you who are taking off, which some people I'm sure are, thanks, guys. I always, and girls, I always appreciate everybody bidding with me, breaking with me, coming in to say hey and chat when you're on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate you very much. I hope I'll see you again on another break. I do break most nights I break. We will, of course, be taking a few off around the holidays. But for the most part, I'm doing this most nights. Because I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a blast for me to see what comes out of everything. Even though I don't get to keep it, I enjoy doing it and seeing it and making some people happy anyway. I know not everybody's happy because it's never fun when you don't get what you're looking for. But at least in this break, everybody probably got something. You probably either got refractor or a numbered card or something. Excuse me, or something, I would say, for most of our teams. So, yeah, JG, we did not pull a Mariners for you tonight. I am sorry about that. That's not fun. But we'll definitely try to conjure it up for you the next time. So that is it for me for tonight. I'm going to jump off here and start the long process of sorting. So I'm going to head out, and I hope you are having a great weekend. And tomorrow night we're opening a little throwback. We're doing some update series of a case of update that I found recently. So we're going to bust into half of that tomorrow. And that's it. I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great night. And yeah, as Colby says, happy holidays. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.